Welcome to Anecdotes for Success with Matt and Paul. Storytelling is an art form, emphasizing the value and learning that is created through personal experience. Our purpose is to share these stories and experiences with the listener. Everyone has a powerful testimony. Let's use them to level up to our best life with truth, meaning, trade-offs, and perspective.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Season 6, huh?
That's just mind-boggling, isn't it?
I went through the computer yesterday because I've started cleaning some files out for the podcast because it's all out there. We don't need the original videos anymore. But all the people we've had on, uh, and I was telling you off air the other day that I'm getting just a lot more requests for guests
Yeah.
and I there's that when you go from one phase to the other, gas, liquid, solid, and there's that latent heat in between.
Okay.
It takes all that energy before the gas actually becomes a liquid or vice versa, I feel like that's what happens. I mean, we do this because we like it. At the end of the day, this is almost our way to catch up with each other because
Yeah.
it started with phone calls, right?
Yep. Yeah, it sure did.
And now we bring other guests in. Uh, gosh, we went about the last 6 weeks of the year without an episode because it's just the holidays, and our analytics still grow. It's a lot of fun to see. I think we both just need to quit our jobs and have a studio.
I wouldn't that be interesting I it'd be fun to do in a way, just throw everything you got behind the issues of whether that's the issues of the day or the issues of yesterday, which you're just talking about reading Ben Franklin right now,
Yeah.
right? And just things on the founding fathers or whatever. And I if I had to, like, I just got asked this question actually last week. I was telling you my wife and I have been in Cabo. We just got back yesterday. Um, Someone was asking me, you meet random people. What do you do? And and like, what if you could just do anything, what would it be? And I think, like, I've thought about that a lot. And I think if it was just selfishly, I'd probably just, I love to read. I love to 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 consider, like, debate and those kinds of things. And I love financial, the way money works. Let me put it this way: the way investment works, the way things work in that realm. And, like, I think that's what I do. So, like, if I could just we could just podcast, it would be on history, it would be on finances, and it would just be throwing my days behind just educating myself constantly.
You know what though? You'd have to build something eventually. You'd go crazy.
I think part of that building, Paul, would be helping people with their financial literacy and their investing. It'd be like a financial advisor, but in a probably a very niche role, a very
Right.
niche type thing.
Well, I was asked recently, I mean, because I do that part time. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not part time for the people I do it for, but
I know, right? Of course,
I just partner with my mentor because I get asked all the time to help people, and there's just not enough time in the day.
right.
So, and he does it full time. So now, we're a good fit. I got asked by a larger firm to come on board and solicit people, but the niche I like is I like helping people that don't have money that need it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need to get to the point where I'm just managing the accounts of people that have over 250K in net worth. I mean, yeah, that would be lucrative, but they don't need me technically. They use me out of convenience.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Which great. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
say convenience because they're so busy building other things. I'm not
Sure.
envious or jealous, but I like the 18-year-old that just turns 18
Yeah.
and can invest. I like the 17-year-old that they find out they can do a custodial account through their parents, and then when they turn 18, their parents fall off the account.
Mm.
Uh, I was just talking to a whole high school of 10th graders the other day in a couple sessions. They look at you when you're crazy when you say by 40 you could be a millionaire.
Yeah. Through compound interest, right?
Yeah. Yeah, $300 a month. And then they're like, people raise their hand that are babysitters. And I'm like, you're doing it wrong. girl's like, I have 20 clients. I'm exhausted. I'm like, well, hire your friends, charge 25 an hour. You keep 10, they get 15. Now you can build out and scale your business. Same with shoveling. I mean, there's ways to make money at a young age to save it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I got a lot of that from when you talk to my students. But the trouble is, it's so easy to consume.
Paul, there's a few things there that I find interesting. Number one of the great things about that younger person is they have the best asset available to building wealth is time, right? It is the number one thing. I mean, obviously you need some money to put in there over that period of time, but they have the time at 17, they're going to live another 70, 60, 70, 80 years, right?
Yep.
Hopefully. So you've got time, whereas you and I have less of that, unfortunately. It's just math. Um, so they have that. The other thing they have is time. And I'm not repeating myself, I'm using it in a different way. They they have time to work a part-time job. They go to school. I never had more time in my life than those years in college and free time.
Right.
They don't have kids yet. They don't have the level of responsibilities yet. They don't have those things. Most of them don't at this point. So yeah, instead of burying your head in your phone, spend 15 hours, 20 hours a week working, doing something else. Stop consuming, take the majority of that money, put it into a vehicle that is built for compound interest over time, and lo and behold, you've got yourself a machine that's going to build wealth for you for many, many, many years. Leave it alone, keep adding to it, and all of a sudden you will find yourself in a much, much better place. But guess what, Paul? That requires delaying gratification, which is the number one quality people who build wealth have. And then two, it was a level of discipline and on the consumption end, because I know what most people do with the every dollar they get. What can I buy with it? What can I buy with it? What I say, I'll give you something great to buy with it. Your future. Your future is what you need to buy with it. Because that group, Paul, would be fun to work with too, because they have the time. They
Yeah.
can really, really, really make such huge strides in their future. But most of them think, I'm young, and then we throw around all these terms in life that help us justify poor decisions. Well, you can't take it with you, and you don't want to spend your life working. We do all these things to convince
Don't
ourselves.
forget you only live once.
You only live. Thank you. That's a great one. All these things to convince ourselves that I don't have to be disciplined. I don't have to plan for the future. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to, as if the answer to your dreams is, the venti latte from Starbucks instead of
No.
putting your money away for the future to live a better life, see the world, all these things that people tell me they want to do, but they don't make the decisions and choices necessary to do them.
Yeah, I start out with them. The kids guess my age, and it makes me kind of proud. They're way off, which makes me happy. And again, I steal a lot of this from you, but it's not like you made it up. But
Right.
the whole talk is about time, choice, and freedom in life. And right now, their time is held up in school all day. And they think they're going to get out of school and life's going to be better. They're going to have more time held up in work.
Yep.
And again, we talk, it was a nice 30-minute talk. You talk about building foundations. There's important degrees like engineering, being a doctor, things like that. But if the only way you make money is by trading your time, you're never going to have enough of it. Or you might have enough of it, say you're a doctor, but you're only trading your time for money. You have to be there.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean you can't go on vacations and live a great life and but then the second thing I tell them is I successful people never retire. Like they retire from certain jobs or certain projects, but they always keep doing.
Yeah, I
And
think you find most people right.
right?
like,
And then they listed the most successful people they know. They still work
yeah,
because they have a passion for what they're doing. That's part of our, truth meaning and,
trade-off.
our
Yeah,
fourth.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh, but so if you can use other ways to make money besides time through assets, and then when you get older, you'll now have choices to make, which result in more freedom. I'm not talking anarchy like freedom. I'm not talking, I mean, there's things to do. If you had $1 million when you're 40, it doesn't mean you stop working, but that does give you a lot of choices.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It might be
You,
as simple as buying a boat. I don't know.
I met a guy in Cabo, a gentleman and his wife. They were probably 70, and we were sitting near each other, and we got to just chatting. And typical. What do you do? What do you do for a living? What did you do? And he was I told him, and they were entrepreneurs themselves, business people, and so that you have a lot in common. They start asking the whys, right? You start diving into the real reasons, not the superficial. Oh, the money talk, which is superficial and frankly boring. The real reasons, and he built a business in Philadelphia. He was a sales guy for a linen company, and he recognized there was a hole in the market that nobody had, like what do you call them, like showrooms in this business. So he quit, started his own linen business, and built these showrooms around Philadelphia, and his business just blew up. And so he went from a linen sales guy to the linen entrepreneur, and he had all these, he went from having no overhead to $21,000 a month in rent overnight. And he said how scary it was, and how,
Right.
and this is going back 40 years. That $21,000 a month in rent 40 years ago is like, 85,000 or $50,000 a month today. I don't know what it is, but the point is it was a real number. And you know how it kept him up at night and how stressful it was, but how it's like that was his path. And he goes, I hadn't even gotten into any of my philosophies or anything like that. And he goes, you know what I really did it for though? And I go, please tell me. I want to know. He goes, freedom. I just wanted my freedom. And of course, I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I talk about. It's the same thing. And so we got going down that path. But he goes, everyone thinks you're out there trying to make money, and what they don't understand is it's if you haven't experienced the freedom that comes with these things, you don't have any idea. Like, you just don't know what you're missing. And anyway, he and his wife got talking about the freedom it gave him. And even though he was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week at times, and all the other responsibilities, how it gave them a level of freedom in their lives that just there's no other way to do it. It was just a great conversation.
Well, and again, it's freedom because of the hard work you did. It's not 100% freedom 100% of the time.
Right.
And that, to me, that would be equally as bad as just working all the time. Because what's the point?
Yeah,
Like if
right.
you have freedom all day long with no purpose, I mean, from my perspective, what's the point? So I think the secret in life is to try to find out what variance you want with that. Like how much you're going to work, how much freedom do you want, how much time do you want to volunteer, how much money does it take to have these choices? Can you pivot and try different
Yeah,
things?
yeah, 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 yeah. Can you
And
reinvent
that's not
yourself?
that's not taught to the average high school kid, and that's a shame because they go to school, they acquire debt. Now there's no freedom in the immediate decade for sure.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, well, I mean, it's part of an equation we've built that I'm not sure we're thinking through the same way. I think we're doing what a lot of what we do a lot is we just go, oh, here's the path, go for it, and no one's going, is this the path? Is this what are every path is going to have its problems and trade-offs. What are the
Yeah.
problems and trade-offs? Are we talking about those, or are we ignoring them? And I think I got into this with them as well. It was just that whole, well, I
First of
just was,
all, I'd love to be a fly on the wall or be with you because some couples minding their own business on vacation, and Matt Huffnagel starts talking to them. I do the same thing at brewery. I mean, in a fun way. They obviously embraced it, but
Yeah. Oh
go
no,
ahead.
no doubt about it. And it's funny because I get this a lot. You should speak about this stuff. And I go, I actually do. And they're like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. But I go, look, like the reason I speak about it is because I'm passionate about it because there's a purpose behind it, meaning for me. And and most people when they start to really think these things through and even especially people are maybe retired and older and they start to think about what their life was and how it became the way it was, they really get into it as well. And I find it really, really fascinating.
Well, again, I have a different. I mean, we both have different paths, but I think we're on wavelengths. Yours is just a little higher altitude than me with what you're doing, but it's the same stuff. Okay, and I mean, I was in finance, went back to be a teacher because I liked the freedom of the summers off.
Hmm.
Now, bear with me. Most people say stay away from education because you don't make any money. Well, what do you think you could do in the summer?
Yeah.
If you're a young kid, I think it's a fantastic career. You go teach, you have all this free time. I'm not saying there's not challenges and you work hard, but you're going to work hard 9 to 5 or 50 weeks a year, whatever you do, anyways. You could actually take tools you learn and invest and make extra money and have a side business. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily like the word hustle, and you'd be off to the races with a pension, which is, I
Right.
mean, or just if you want to be a business person, just get right into business. I don't understand why you have to go to college for 4 years.
Nor do I. And I know many teachers who've built side businesses and
Well,
such.
most of them like the freedom, but they don't want to do anything with the freedom. They just, and then they go back to school and complain. Or a lot of them. I really shouldn't say most, a lot
Right.
of them. Then they tell other people, don't get in this profession as they have a decent life with half the year off.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It could be a very powerful tool, is what I'm saying.
Yes, it could be. It could be. But you got right. You got to use that. You got to use that time to build something that can be productive. And ideally, any of us are building things that we get compensated on our productivity, not our time, because that's the only way out.
Yeah,
It's a
well,
thing,
and when I say different wavelengths, you took the traditional approach, high school,
college,
college,
job, career.
working for other people. I
Yep.
mean, really, I look back, you could have been the Savannah Bananas.
Oh
You
yeah,
were
yeah.
general
That
manager of a
yeah,
minor league
that
team. You
that
didn't have
was
the vision.
that right. Not at all. I didn't. That was a path I planned to be on. I
Yeah.
planned to be on the long-term career thing, and
So
and
my point is, then you jumped into what you're doing now. You got a head start, good 15, 20 years on me. That's why we're on different wavelengths. That's what I meant,
yeah,
and
no,
and and I try to help younger people start earlier than we did,
it's
earlier than me, earlier than you even,
definitely.
and just like think about it. You should always want to do stuff. It's okay to be scared, and you should embrace the challenges, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And it's not a path that allows for you. You're not getting off scot-free. You're gonna have you're gonna be scared. You're gonna have discomfort. You're gonna, there's no guarantees short term. I mean, not that there's any guarantees long term. I just think, if you just kind of keep doing the right things, you eventually get in whatever we're talking about. You eventually get to a good place. But yeah, I mean, most people get into some level of trap is such a harsh word, but sometimes it feels like that. One is they get into debt, or two
I,
they fall in love with the security of a paycheck.
I like lifestyle creep
Yeah,
because
yeah,
listen, it's natural. We talked about when you make money, you're going to spend a lot of it because it's fun to have things. I mean, it's harder today because when we were kids, there's no cell phones, there's no streaming, there's no laptops. Like, I don't care how much you make today, you didn't have to spend it on as much back then. And I don't want to sound like an older person, but technology comes with a cost.
Oh, a heavy, heavy, heavy cost.
It's
Heavy cost.
fantastic. I mean, I can't leave my house without my phone. I admit it.
Right.
Where I spent the first 35 years of my life leaving my house without a phone.
Right. Right. Never give it a thought.
But it's just, it is what, so I'm comparing, but it just, there's no going back. And you make more money and then you buy the latest iPhone or you get a
Yep.
new laptop every year or you start leasing cars and you want to get a new car every 3 years and bigger house. And of course, you got to go on the vacation to keep the family happy and take your Instagram pics while you're there, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you're making good money and you find out you don't really enjoy what you're doing anymore because that happens too. It's not just people get jobs they don't like, they don't enjoy it anymore.
Correct.
How do you change if you don't have any investments, you don't have any assets to sell? You can't just stop working for 6 months while you recalibrate. Like, you know how I joke factories will shut down for maybe a week or a month to
Yeah.
recalibrate. That comes with a cost, but I guarantee you they plan for that.
100%.
People don't plan to recalibrate their lives and the lifestyle creep and it just gets in the way. It's too bad
It,
because it doesn't
it
have to be that way.
No, no, you're right, and that is what happens, and then you're stuck, and you're going, well, how am I going to replace this income? And I've got all these financial responsibilities, and guess what? I guess I'll just ride it out. I'm 38. Well, I could retire in 22 years or whatever it is. I guess I'll just put on a brave face and keep marching forward.
It blows my mind.
And that leads to some other because you said a great point there. Most people don't. It's not that they take jobs they don't like. It's 10 years in, all of a sudden, the excitement's gone,
Yeah.
the passion's gone to some degree or dissipated, and maybe you feel stuck. Maybe your boss is only 5 years older than you, and you're like, I'm never getting that promotion. He's not going anywhere, or she's not going anywhere, and you're just sitting there going, well, this is my life. I guess we'll wait. I guess we'll try to pay the house off, and I guess let's get these kids through school, and then hopefully we can enjoy, and I look at that and just go, oh my gosh, it's just heartbreaking to me.
Nowhere do you see it more in education because when you get to be my age, almost every single administrator is younger than you.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean they don't do great jobs, but that if you're not busy with everything in your life and enjoying what you're doing, that causes a lot of animosity amongst older teachers. Like
yeah,
I got to listen to you. Like you
yeah,
were in the classroom 5 years,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and uh it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, we're not built to just do the same thing our whole lives.
I don't, I wasn't. I can only
And
speak for myself.
somehow like in the 50s, 60s and 70s, that's where we shifted to train people to be that way.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, there's definitely been some trade-offs when it comes to a lot of these things. And look, everything has its consequences, and that's my wife's always like, oh my God, shut up with the trade-off, because I'm always saying things like, well,
Yeah.
it's going to be a trade-off. But most people, well, I've wired myself, I think that way.
Yeah.
And most people want to think, oh, I have the right decision. And there's just no such thing. I mean,
Yeah.
everything's going to have its downside.
And I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 70 years old, you take a couple months to recalibrate yourself and you can reinvent yourself. I
Paul,
mean, it's
I,
you don't have to just say, "Oh, I'm just going to wait it out." There's no fun in that. No
uh,
challenge in that.
no, right, right. The problem is, to me, we've been conditioned that you only work so much, right? Well, how can I do it? I already have a full-time job. Well, get some more training, education, right? Relationships. Well, I can't. How am I going to do that? I'd have to go. I'd have to take classes, or I'd have to go to these. I'd have to go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings and meet people. Well, I can't do that. I already work a full-time job. And if
You'd be
that's your
surprised.
mindset, you're done. I don't
You'd
know
be
what to,
surprised if you have kids, if you get up before them and you work an hour a day before they're up, or if your kids are grown and you put in an hour a day after your job. There's time. All I'm saying is there's time.
there's
Uh,
always time.
You know,
Always.
I'll end with this. I mean, in theory, I could leave education now. I like it though.
Yeah.
And the last week, there were two ex-students from my old Edison days. I'm talking 25 years ago, came into the tap house and they're like, "This is so great. You're not teaching anymore, huh?" I'm like, "No, I'm teaching. Like, I love that. This is just another part of my life now, a new chapter."
Yeah.
And then I'm sure you hear it with all you do. How do you have time in the day?
All the time. I hear it all the time.
Well, I really do. Now, I gave up coaching high school basketball. I actually have more time running the tap house because
Yeah.
I was gone till 10:30 at night on a away trip sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nobody says, "How do you have the time of day to coach?"
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you do something like this, how do you have the time? Oh, you have the time if it means something to you.
Yeah, if it exactly, if it means something to you. And guess what? If you can't find the time, it doesn't mean anything to you.
Right.
It's just like your relationship with your wife, your children, your whoever, your mother, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle. Look, you've got the time.
Yeah.
How much of a priority is it?
And I guarantee if you do a itemized list of how you spend your days, you're spending a lot of time on stuff that doesn't mean anything to you. So start cutting that stuff out.
Yeah, Paul, you know how much time I spend on social media? Zero. I don't
I
have
know
it.
you do.
You know how much time I spend on television? Almost zero. In fact, I had the TV on last night while I was working, while I'm working on this new
Right.
project I have going on. I was up till midnight last night working on this stuff. Like uh, I don't know what to say to people. I know what to say to people, but like I don't have time. What do you think? You just clock out at the end of the day, and then you start at 9 the next day, and that's what life's. If that's your picture, that's fine. Go right
Right.
ahead and do it. But you're gonna lose out on a
Well,
bunch of opportunities.
or maybe an hour
And
a
I'm
night.
glad.
I mean, figure it out. It doesn't have to be absolute trade-off. Just figure it out. Where do you want to be? That's all.
Yeah, and there's so much to do and so much available. But if your philosophy is I shouldn't have to work more than X amount of hours, then I then that then you're gonna there's certain it's just like Paul, like I wanna be in better shape. I want to be in better shape, let's say. Do you work out? Well, no, I don't have time. I don't know what to tell you then. I
Right.
don't like I work out. I've fallen into working out the last few months. I'm addicted. Not when I say addicted to it, like I've felt so much better.
Right.
It's been such a game changer for me. You gotta form the habits. You
Yep.
gotta form the. I've been saw someone recently, and then I'll shut up. But like your motivation, watching some, great motivator on like working out may get me going for that first week or two. That won't keep me going. The only thing that keeps you going in life are habits. Habits. So every day on my calendar, it's workout. I can't delete that workout thing on my calendar until I've worked out. It's
Right.
a habit now. I wake up in the morning, it's one of the first things I think about. Okay, what point today am I going to get my workout in? I don't get to check that box off until I've done it. You've got to build habits in life, whether it's working out, whether it's bonding with your kids, your wife, whether it's building a business, whether it's educating yourself on things you want to do in the future. Habits, habits, habits. The only way.
Percent. Love to hear it, man. This was fun. I got to run. I'm on the Steelers hiring committee for their new coach, so
Get after it. Who are we gonna get?
maybe me.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I can't even imagine the grind that goes into that.
The talk about commitment.
And just to know everybody's got an opinion that's smarter than yours, the actual guy on the ground. But that's another day.
Yeah,
This was great. We should have a guest next week. Thanks, Matt. Love catching up.
absolutely. Thanks.
See ya.